Hi, you guys. I'm just getting ready to wind down to bed. I got the little puggies getting comfortable behind me, and I thought I would read a little bit of the book Whisper. I've been popping in here and there reading this book. It's by Mark Batterson. It's one of the first books I read when I was learning that I was hearing God's voice, and I just wanted to, read about a lot of people that were a little bit further along in the journey. So tonight I thought I would just, as I'm going to take my chamomile drops and get ready to wind down to bed, I just thought I'd pop in and read this chapter. We're on chapter 2, and I just want to do a disclaimer. I don't know if this is what's occurring where you guys live, but in the city I live, there's residual fireworks still going off. And I know there's something prophetic about that, but I'm not getting all the revelation right now. So there's some reason. I just spoke in my last devotional just about an hour or two ago about how when it's time for God to reveal something, he'll reveal it. If he doesn't, don't force it. And I've done that before, you guys. When I was first learning to operate in the prophetic, he was teaching me what it felt like to force a message and to be emptied out and be led to give a message. And you'll know what it feels like. And he'll most of the time, he just won't let you flow. It's like he'll put up a dead end sign. Like you'll just, the words will fall flat. And it's awesome, but it also it kind of humbles you in a way that you realize that when you're prophetic, nothing you've ever spoken was you when you were truly surrendered to God, because you can't give yourself credit. Like, people have always told me my whole life, like, how do you speak like that? And before I realized fully it was the Lord, I was like, oh, I don't know, like, thank you. It just comes to me. It's something I feel inspired by. And I realized, like, God was only going to let that last so long with me. He's like, okay, I let you get away with taking the glory on that. I wasn't meaning to. It's just, you don't realize how fleshy unintentionally you are, because the world teaches us to have self-praise. And I wouldn't even answer people in a posture that I was looking for praise. It's just that I didn't take the journey to realize I had the gift and how to steward it, and that it was my creator, right? And that's what that plate I talked about in the message I put out today. My creator was speaking to me. And so until I had that relationship with him, I hear you. It's like any relationship, I'm hearing him say, until you take that walk with them and you get to know just a person on earth that you have a relationship with, you would get to know them. You couldn't tell anybody about that person, right? You take a journey to get to know them. It's the same with the Lord, except deeper, more intimate, more rewarding, just amazing, right? That's the creator. So yeah, people my whole life were like, gosh, you give me chills. People would always tell me, you make me cry. And I wasn't trying to like steal God's glory, but because I hear you, this is why he works all things together for good. Because in our own carnality, we would never just decide to wake up one day and say, oh, it's Holy Spirit speaking through me. No, we're creatures of habit. We get into, our day-to-day ways of functioning. And unless we take a journey of knowing him, how do we acknowledge the things and the gifts that he's using in us? We just take the credit ourselves. Even if we aren't selfishly trying to do it, that's why we're designed to have a relationship with him, so that we can figure out that what I'm hearing him tell me, for me, is, when people would compliment me and say, you speak so well, or this, that, and the other, man's praise will only last so long. It'll fall flat after a while. And the Lord, he's only going to let you go so far before he wants to take the glory, before he says it's time to pay tribute to me. And rightfully so, right? He gave us his son. And I hear you. And our gifts can only go so far. I mean, there are people out there that I'm sure don't believe in God, right? And they're talented, right? I mean, we know it. Hollywood's full of them, okay? Not all of them, but some. But here's the thing. At some point, hell comes looking for their what they've basically wagered. Because you wager your soul for fame sometimes. This is what a lot of people in Hollywood have done, right? They've wagered their soul for fame and fortune. But the problem is hell comes back for its reward, right? For its payment, right? But with God, when we use our gifts for the kingdom, he's just going to keep leveling us up. Are we going to face warfare? Absolutely. That's why a lot of people don't want to discover that their gifts are kingdom. But when When you realize it's the King working in you, then you start to receive the way God always intended you to. And you will always be limited if you're seeking the praise of man. You just will. And even with me, when people would tell me, hey, you speak a certain way, I wasn't intentionally trying to take the glory, but it was clear that I hadn't taken the journey. I hear you. I wasn't intentionally trying to take the glory, but it was clear I hadn't taken the journey. So that's why I came up to these books when I first started reading them about hearing the voice of God. And this is one of my favorites. We're going to continue reading it. And this is Mark Batterson's Whisper. It's a great book. Go out and buy it if you want, but he's a great author. You truly can't go wrong with anything he writes. So let me just read this part right here. It's pretty cool. And he's very cerebral, guys. So he writes with a lot of, sorry, you can hear the pug noises. He writes with a lot of big words, but so I'm going to go slow when it comes to his verbiage, because he uses a lot of big words and numbers, you'll see. So it says in chapter 2, the voice, God said, let there be light. Genesis 1:3. You may have no sensation of motion right now, but that is an illusion of miraculous proportions. The reality, you are on a planet that is spinning around on its axis at a speed of approximately 1,000 miles per hour. That's mind-blowing. And you don't even get a little bit dizzy. Wow. Plus, planet Earth is speeding through space at approximately 67 miles per hour. Planet Earth is speeding through space, y'all, at 67,000 miles per hour. I'll let that sink in. So even on a day when you feel as if you didn't get much done, I love this, you traveled 1,608,000,000 miles. Y'all! Through space. That's crazy. Now let me ask, when was the last time you thanked God for keeping you in orbit? That's so true. I'm guessing the answer is never. Why? Because God is so good at what he does that we take it for granted. We do, guys. Have you ever thanked him for not falling off axis or traveling 1 billion miles in one day or keeping us on the planet with gravity? It's true. We don't thank him, and that's like huge, right? We should be thanking him. He could have had us just fly off the planet. Never once have I knelt and prayed, Lord, I wasn't sure we'd make the full rotation today, but you did it again. I love that. I love Mark Batterson, y'all. There are people, and perhaps you are one of them, who would say they've never experienced a miracle. With all due respect, I love this. I love him. He's so great. I beg to differ, says Mark Batterson. We experience a miracle of astronomical proportions each and every day. The irony is that we already trust God for the big miracles, like keeping us in orbit. Like now the trick is trusting him for the little miracles. Everything else. Oh man, I'm gonna say that again, you guys. The irony is that we already trust God for the big miracles, like keeping us in orbit, right? And on the planet with gravity. But the trick is trusting him for the little miracles, which is everything else. Because think about it, compared to keeping us on the planet or in orbit, everything else we ask for is small, right? Would we all agree? In order to fully appreciate the power of God's voice, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. He speaks to the universe into existence with, count them, 4 words. God said, let there be light. Here's a paraphrase. Let there be electromagnetic radiation with varying wavelengths traveling at 186,282 miles per hour per second. Per second, you guys. Let there be radio waves, microwaves, and X-rays. Let there be photosynthesis, fiber optics. Let there be LASIK surgery, satellite communication, and suntans. Oh, and let there be rainbows after rainstorms. Let there be light. These are God's first recorded words. This is God's first recorded miracle. So guys, I'm going to leave it off right there, but how great is Mark Batterson? He's so good. As an upcoming author, I just aspire to give God glory through my words the way some of these authors do. But the way he shows that contrast and puts us into perspective to the creator, and I hear you, that plate I put out today, there is no coincidence that I got a plate that said creator, because this today, I wasn't going to pick this book up, but he said read it, and that's because it talks about what he's created. And he started with, let there be light. And let us not forget that was the first miracle God gave us. And if we can trust him for light, we can trust him for everything else. Have a good night, guys.